Mehrnaz, Shoushtarian, and together with my team at the Bionics Institute, we are developing an objective test of tinnitus. This test is a critical step in developing reliable treatments for this condition. Tinnitus is a condition that involves hearing sounds that aren't present externally. This is what it's like to live with tinnitus.
7 years ago, Victoria Didenko woke up to the sound of crickets. And they never went away.
Yes, a very sonic, high-pitched, shrill squealing of crickets or a kettle on the boil whistling.
That relentless screeching was tinnitus.
No cure. I couldn't believe. I went to the doctors thinking, oh, I've got this ringing in my head, so what do we do now? Just ignore it.
Tinnitus affects 1 in 10 people, but despite its wide prevalence, there are no reliable treatments for the condition. One main reason is there is no way of objectively determining whether someone has tinnitus, quantify its severity, and no way of assessing if treatments are in fact working. The market for tinnitus treatments lacks rigorous evidence and can include things like snake oil and e-candling. Clinical assessment uses subjective feedback from individuals, which can be prone to placebo effects. We have developed an objective tool for tinnitus measurement using brain imaging and machine learning. Our solution involves a non-invasive brain imaging technique called functional near-infrared spectroscopy, or FNIS, that uses light to monitor changes in blood oxygen levels in the brain. We then apply machine learning data analytics to combine different FNIS signal features and determine whether the data shows tinnitus presence, and if so, how severe it is. Our initial study showed feasibility of FNIS in differentiating tinnitus patients from controls and mild versus severe tinnitus with high accuracy, and we have filed a patent based on this work. Since then, we have increased our data set to over 160 individuals and are now refining our machine learning methods. Based on our findings with our research-grade FNIS system, we will develop a purpose-built and clinically usable FNIS system with our algorithms integrated and using an optimized number of light sources and detectors placed on a cap or headband. We will develop our product with Nerex, our German industry partner and FNIS manufacturer. We've engaged with a major audiology clinic in the US to assist in our usability study. Based on advice from our regulatory advisors at PharmaLex, our product will be classified as a Class 2A non-sterile device in Europe and Australia and a Class 2 by the FDA. Our device will include the 2 components of hardware and our FNIS data analysis software. We will be seeking US FDA registration through the 510(k) pathway for the hardware based on predicates and the Novo registration for the software. We will also pursue CE marking and use the first of these registrations to obtain TGA approval via international harmonization procedures. We have an ISO 9001 quality system in place. The Bionics Institute is the first and only Australian medical research institute to receive comprehensive ISO 9001 accreditation covering all operations, in particular research and development processes. Our manufacturing partner will have the required ISO 13485 certification for medical device development. Our path to market plan includes a model for delivering this objective measure using our own startup to fund ongoing clinical validation and by raising capital through key early-stage investors. We will create specialized FNIS tinnitus testing centers. These centers will address a critical gap in current audiological clinical practice, which does not involve objective assessment of tinnitus due to the lack of adequate tools. Crucially, as our tests can be performed by technicians rather than require trained audiologists, our model can be provided through these specialized centers. Bionics Institute has demonstrated successful commercialization of IP in areas such as epilepsy through similar spin-out companies. The tinnitus measurement system will initially be used to provide an objective readout in a range of clinical trials of various tinnitus treatments. As first use, we have identified a significant opportunity with a promising treatment, transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS, to create value prior to reimbursement based on a patient payer model. Post-approval of TMS in this indication, TMS providers will use our test as a companion diagnostic, covering patient testing costs and paying a share of patient treatment income to us. This model could also be used with a clinical trial of other treatments. Our team of scientists and engineers working with both industry and clinical collaborators have the diverse skills and resources to ensure the success of this work. We have expertise in quality, regulatory and commercialization, and much experience in engaging local and international companies, investors, and clinical networks. This test has the potential to help millions of people worldwide.
It's given me great hope. It's critical to finding that elusive cure for this auditory torment.